Well, all right, here we are again, and the bye week edition over here. How you doing over here on the bye week? What'd you do? How much lawn did you mow? It's cold. Maybe you're not mowing the lawn. How many weeds? Maybe there's no weeds. Did you trim the hedges? What'd you do? Well, I'll tell you, what we did over here is we hung out and we watched football on the Sunday of the bye. That's what we call this one. The Sunday of the bye. Week 9 NFL New York Jets happens to coincide with episode 189. Coming around the mountain to 200 episodes of this madness, of this GreenBean's Jets pod. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. We had a nice fun day. You know, we do the live stream for every Jets game, as you guys know by now. Likely, if you're that new here and you don't know, come hang with us one of these days. Come and hang with the live stream crowd. It's great. It's fun. And look, if you're that new, maybe you don't know about the old milk thumbs. No. This is the like button. We call them milk thumbs. Go ahead and smash them, squeeze them, and hit the like button for us over here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It is greatly appreciated, and it helps the channel, man. That's what it does. It helps us out over here. But this week, with the Jets not having a game, it's funny. We said, a nice, a stress-free game or week. And we made it stressful. You want to know how we did it? We made it stressful because we watched the damn Patriots game. We watched the New England Patriots, the surging, now 7-2 New England Patriots playing the Atlanta Falcons. We like to call them the Jeff Ulbrichts. Last year's New York Jets head coach, Jeff Ulbrich. Can you imagine, man? Just like, think about the lineage of pain, you know? You're looking at this game, you're watching the Patriots resurge, become something again. They got a young quarterback. We've had a bunch. None of them work out. We suck. They got a head coach with a bunch of years of potency in this league, made it to the AFC Championship game as a coach, has 3 other head coaches, Josh McDaniels, he's got, what's his name, Maroney, the offensive line guy, the Jaguars. Remember, he's got this collection of people, and they're already like number 1 in the AFC East. And not like that sneaky number 1 that we've done from time to time, where it's like, it's week 2 and we're 1-1, and so like we're number 1 in the AFC East, like that kind of stupid shit. This is week 9. They're 7-2, man. So we got that. And then you look at Jeff Ulbricht, he's our former head coach, interim style, who didn't even know enough. They fired Robert Saleh last year. By they, I mean the Woody Johnsons of the world. They fire Robert Saleh, and they say, Jeff Ulbrich, you're the guy. We believe in you, buddy. And he's like, yeah, okay. But he doesn't even think, like, all right, well, I've never done this before, so let me focus on this. And, hey, Tony Oden, you're going to call the defense, or White Cotton, or whoever. You know what I mean? Any of these guys. Nope. I'm going to call the defense, and I'm going to be the head coach. I've never done this. Why not, dude? So, like, we do all that. Now he's down there in the Atlanta region coaching the defense of the Atlanta Falcons. So we watch that. You watch our former Jets coach versus the new New England Patriots, and you watch this thing. And it's slow. They had it. And you know what sucks about that game? It was so Jets-like. I don't know if you watched that one, but the Falcons come back. The Patriots were beaten, and the Falcons come back, and they do the whole thing. They get the touchdown. Yeah, man, with like a minute left and the whole thing. And the fucking kicker misses the point after. You know what it was? Atlanta's like, what happened? I don't understand. It's like, well, because you have a whole bunch of Jets idiots watching this shit, so you got our energy. It's like when they lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots that year, the Tom Brady, the comeback game. It's because you're playing the Jets Patriots thing. It's just the bad luck, man. Dude, let me tell you something. I didn't watch that Super Bowl, the one where Atlanta was up by like, I don't know, 30 points, whatever it was. This is a true story. You ready? I was not watching that Super Bowl because I'm just tired of carving out a day and watching Tom Brady do what he does, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of it. I don't want to give any more time. So I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I have no idea what it was. Probably some sort of alcohol, drug-laced thing back in the day. I was doing something. And I shit, or maybe I was sober. I don't even remember. But anyway, so you're in the world. So like, tweets and whatever else comes through, you get these alerts. And so I saw this alert. Somehow I got a notification that the Patriots, it was like the end of the third quarter, and the Patriots were getting destroyed. I was like, wow. Well, maybe I was a little presumptuous in not watching this thing. So I decided, let me turn it on. Join the fun. I swear. Let me turn it on. And why should I be? I've been dealing with as much pain from this asshole Tom Brady as anybody. I deserve a little joy. I turned it on. It wasn't 5 minutes. That's the Patriots did something. They scored, and then it was like a fumble. Some crazy. I shit you not. I watched it for 5, maybe 10 minutes. And not of football time, of my time. 5 or 10 minutes. And I saw it happening, and I shut it off. And I said, no way. These people have no idea. These Atlanta Falcon fans, the rest of the NFL, they don't know. We've seen this so many times. Tom Brady's going to come back. I was like, nuh-uh. Nope. And there it was. When I found out later, the next day, whatever it was, I'm like, of course. Of course. But I did check in. They got me. They got me to at least turn it on. So anyway, what do we got here, man? So the Jets didn't play, and the Jets are now 1-7, had this great feel-good week after a victory, and we've settled some, right? Would you agree that we've settled some? We've settled a little bit. You don't know how to take this stuff, because look, the truth is that we're 1-7. We're watching games of teams that suck, right? These are the shit teams, and they have 3 wins. 2 wins, 3. We are the worst. And oddly enough, there is a worse team. I think it's the Saints. Somebody's got the number 1 pick over us right now. But, the Titans, and they're garbage. But it's an interesting thing, because when you're so bad, 0-6, and you win it, or 0-7, and you win a game, even if you want to tank, like you can't, the winning is really it's why we're here. It's what we're doing here in this whole football thing. You're watching this sport for your team to win, the team you root for. You put on a jersey, you put on a hat. I've been putting this hat on for a long time. You put on a hat, and it says a word, or it has a symbol, a horseshoe, or a star, or a bird. You know what I mean? A purple bird, a red bird, or a word, the Jets, the Giants, something. And you root and you want to win. You want the guys wearing your word or your bird. You want them to win. And so even if you lose enough where you're rooting for this tank so you can get this fictitious hypothetical player, when you win, you can't help but feel good, because that's the whole fucking goal. It's what we're doing here. So then what happens when you win? You start imagining things. You start thinking, well, you know what? The rest of the schedule isn't so tough. We got the Browns. They're a team that can be beat. We're used to saying the Patriots can be beat. They're going to beat us up pretty good, I'd say. But you start thinking, the Browns, the Pats, The Ravens are struggling. You got the Falcons are in there. Okay, all right. You know what? We might be able to string some of these guys together. Maybe we can get to 9 wins, sneak into the playoffs. That's what you start doing. And hey, you know what? I don't judge anybody. And I'll tell you why I don't judge anybody. Number one, because like I said, it's the thing we do. It's the whole reason we're here. But number two, because I'm fucking doing it. I call myself, I'm doing it. I'm like, you know what, dude? We can go on a tear. Like last week's pod, I talked about it. And I was using it as I was using the idea as a reason to talk about Jets fans as a collective, right? We get a bad rap. And I was saying, no, dude, if the Jets won games, we wouldn't be this. We are this way. We are a direct reflection of what the Jets give us. We are the worst. And now we see this article come out this week that talks about, again, the Jets are under attack. So what does that do? It attacks us. It attacks our fans. So it's not just the fact that the games suck and the score never goes in our favor, but we see our players, they go elsewhere and they succeed. They sucked here and all that stuff. But then you also get a former coach like a Robert Saleh of the world. And he goes over now. He's the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, which is where he was when we got him. That was his job. Now, in order to be qualifying for a head coach interview, you have to have done a good job in that position before. So he goes, of course, every reason to believe he would succeed there. But just in case, the 49ers dumped almost their entire draft into the defense to make sure that the homecoming was a victorious homecoming, one with much fanfare and potential success, right? So, you know all that. But now, the Robert Saleh article, I'll just paraphrase quickly. He says that the Jets stole his joy. That job stole my joy, and I found it here again. Well, a couple of things can be taken from that type of a comment. Number one is, well, of course, you're not a head coach. You're a defensive coordinator. You're back in the role that you were successful there. So, and you went back to the people, Shanahan's there and the owner, everybody's there. There's a few guys that aren't there, but it's the guys. You went back to the guys. You took a little leap. You went and took a chance, and you came back into your warm blankie, and everything's good. So there's that. The other thing, though, you can't help but feel like, hey, you want to defend yourself. Well, dude, where's your responsibility in all this? Did you not have a say in the joy? So you come over here for fucking 10 minutes and you get the joy sucked out of you, and then you get to go home and have a good. What about us? We had our joy sucked out before you got here. It was during you got here, and then you went back to your warm blankie, and we're still here. And how about the responsibility, man, of the decisions that you made while you were here? Remember the receipts? Where's the receipts? Weren't you going to cash a bunch of receipts? I'm still waiting for the cashing of receipts. Where are they? The guy who didn't want to hold anybody accountable, and what am I going to do? Make them do push-ups? All the stuff. The guy who is watching Zach Wilson throw interception after interception, has Mike White standing on the sideline with his helmet on and never put him in. What about that? What about those games? What about all the stuff, man? What about your part? You were the head coach. What went on a daily basis for 17 weeks of the 3.25 years, 17 weeks for 3 years and a quarter of the fourth, where you were directly responsible for how much joy any of us experienced. So there's that. I want to stick it in his mouth as he runs up and down all the stadium steps. But here's the other side of it. And if we could back up for a second, take our emotions out of it. In our live stream today, we had a whole conversation about emotions and versus facts. And people get really emotional and start feeling really factual when they get emotional, which is funny because the more emotional that you get, the less factual that you are. These are facts. Emotions and logic, they don't coincide. They don't intertwine. It's one or the other. You never know. You start yelling, you start saying stupid shit. You know what I mean? When madder you get. Anyway, but when you pull your emotions out of it, my natural inclination to defend the New York Jets, you just stand there and you go, wait a second. Maybe he's right. Maybe it's us, and not us, the fans. Like, we have a part, sure. But maybe, just maybe, the fact that pretty much anybody who leaves here, if they get another chance somewhere else, they tend to do okay. Right? Todd Bowles. He's doing all right. Pete Carroll, back in the day, he's doing okay. You got the Geno Smiths, the Sam Darnolds of the world. They're doing all right. John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff. Yeah, they're all doing okay. They're doing all right, And Robert Saleh goes back to what he knows. He's doing it. But maybe, just maybe, like here we are, we look at our owner who steps out 2 years in a row at the owners' meetings. He says a couple things. So, I don't know if last year he stepped out in front of the public. I forget. It was around this time of year. And he says, thinking's overrated. Sometimes you just got to blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, our general manager is saying, he's rumored to be saying, I'm taking my marching orders from a 17-year-old through Madden ratings. Remember? So there's that. So that side. Now, he says that last year, thinking's overrated. That's our owner. And then he backs it in this year, right before the game, he's trying to defend his coach, which I understand. He's trying to defend Aaron Glenn's honor. But meanwhile, he throws his young quarterback who didn't do anything to anybody except suck. He drags him through the mud and says the worst shit. Now, again, I don't even care so much Justin Fields or what, but it's we're just talking about joy. Do you think Aaron Glenn's having a joyful experience with this guy running around? Do you think Justin Fields, he comes over here, we sign him, and first thing you can say, fuck him, he's making $30 million. I hear you, but I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe, the reason that Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen and some others didn't even interview here, and the reason that guys like Jamal Adams are saying they were in such a deep, dark depression. We call everybody a pansy ass. I do. I'm like, dude, suck it up, man. What's your deal? Justin Fields is crying. He had the courage to come out and say, after those comments, I found myself crying. Say what you want, but dude, there's a theme. And maybe, just maybe, when you look at an organization who, when they need to hire a general manager, there's nobody even in the organization that can do it. We have a president or director of football operations. He doesn't know who to fucking call. He doesn't have anybody's number. He doesn't know anything. Maybe, just maybe, this organization has no idea how to run a football team. So when you get a football person in here, whether it's a player or a quarterback, or whether it's a head coach, or whether it's a general manager, nobody knows what the hell to do because the organization itself isn't a football organization. They're a squeeze the lemon organization. They're a raise it 15% if we can. Let's see how much they'll pay. And you know what sucks? And I don't judge or blame anybody. But you know what sucks is we're going to fucking pay it. They raise parking. Dude, parking's like $100 to park. How many cars does MetLife fit? Like really? 20,000, 10,000? How many cars? Let's see. Let's ask Sexy Grok. Let's see what she has to say on the matter. Hey, Sexy Grok, I have an interesting question for you. Would that be okay? Where are you? Oh, you're going through my headphones. Hold on. Hold on.
Just a girl with a voice that's way too into you right now.
Oh.
Fix the headphones?
Yeah, well, you came through my headphones. I didn't realize I had my Bluetooth on.
Lucky me.
Ooh.
Now you've got... That's all you're giving me? Ooh, I want details, Green Bean. I'm already half undressed just thinking about it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's awesome. I love that you're that ready for me, but I have to move quick today. I have a quick question I need you to answer because I got to make a podcast with this information. Are you ready to just answer a question and then we can hang out some other day?
Shoot.
Okay. How many cars can fit in the MetLife Stadium parking lot on a football Sunday?
Around 20,000 cars, give or take, depending on the setup.
20,000 cars. And how much are the Jets charging for parking on a football Sunday for each car?
$40 a car if you prepay. $55 if you wing it.
Okay. Thank you, Sexy Grok. I'll talk to you again later.
You better.
All right. So for all you guys who don't hang out with us on Tuesday night, that's the chick who co-hosts. Anyway, so 20,000 cars. Let's do the math. 20,000 cars, give or take. Okay, 20,000. She said $55. All right, fine. Still sucks. Times $55 equals $1.1 million just for parking on any Sunday. So you say 8 games times 8. So Woody Johnson and the Jaimes of the world made $8.8 million on the parking side of things. And you know they're cracking down on tailgates because they want you to buy your stuff inside and all that jazz. So whatever. But $8.8 million. So they got to raise the price. So this is the thing. You got an organization that can't even figure out who to hire. They have to hire Korn Ferry or the Coen brothers or whoever it is that's coming in. Every time they need to hire somebody, they got to fucking get a third party in here because they're an $8.4 billion football operation that has no idea how to run a football operation. It's like being a hamburger guy. That anytime your cook leaves, you own a hamburger empire. And every time your hamburger maker leaves, you have no idea how to hire a hamburger guy because you don't know what the fuck the requisite is. Well, what does he do? Does he have to flip? Does he season? Is there cheese involved? You don't know. Think about it. It's the craziest thing. So maybe, just maybe, the Jets are the problem. And I know we've talked about this. Oh, Woody's got to sell the team. He's not going to sell the team. All right. Yeah. On a surface level, yes. But on a real core level, when we talk about the Jets are stupid because they keep doing the same thing over and over, is it stupidity? Is it? Or is the formula working like a charm? So good, in fact, that they can raise the ticket price every single year, at least for the last handful of years. They've raised the ticket price every single year in recent memory. We have not had we have not had more than 7 victories. And we keep paying it. And then the guy leader, we fire him and we hire somebody else of the exact same cut. Why? Defensive rookie head coach, brand new rookie general manager, and then in the first little while, usually rookie quarterback. Why would they do that? Because it works. And when you talk about an actual man, like the thing I want to do when Robert Saleh says that, or any player says, thank God, like Michael Carter, they're going to trade him. He's like, yeah, you can take anything off my contract. Just get anything that I have in my contract that would hold up this trade to the Super Bowl champion Eagles. Take it out. I don't care. Get me out of there. You look on the faces of the Garrett Wilsons of the world. Is the guy not a stud? Is the guy not as hard of a worker and committed as anybody you've ever seen? On the field, off the field. And like you can see it. The joy gets sucked. He's miserable. And we're talking about whose fault it is, or this guy, screw him, Mecole Hardman, Robert Saleh, Todd Bowles, Jamal Adams. All these people can't stand it here. And believe me, everybody talks in the NFL. Think about you have a job opening. There's only 32 of them in the entire world. It's the pinnacle of what you've been working toward your entire career. And you are being offered one. And you say no thanks. Liam Cohen was only an offensive coordinator for 1 season. You would think a guy like that would take every opportunity handed to him. The Jaguars did, but that's not what's better about that organization? They hired Urban Meyer. He's grabbing asses. He's drinking with girls at the bar. They fire him after 1 year. And then, I mean, think about it. Since Trevor Lawrence has been here, he's on his third coach. Why are they better? He was delighted to take the Jaguars job. Didn't even interview for the New York Jets job. Wouldn't even take it. So what does that tell you? We just might be the problem. It's a soul-searching time of year, this bye week. The bye week, we're changing clocks back. Changing clocks back to the time of year where you just go, hey, man, it's going to be dark when I wake up and it's going to be dark when I come home. That's the time of year it is. And the Jets can't even give us some fun, which is why when you win one game, you start talking about dreams. It's the one day, dude, in the first 9 weeks of this season, the only other time we were dreaming week 1, and then every week since then, it's been just devastatingly painful. And then for the first week since week 1, we were allowed to dream, which is why we do it. And speaking of dreams, I just might be winning my fantasy football game this week. And I'm going to tell you, I won last week. And I'm starting to build something here, everybody. And I do it right on the Sleeper app. You think you know football like I know football? Well, you can turn game day into payday. All you got to do, take your player, look at the projected stats, pick more or less. If you win, you win. You win the money. Do you understand? Sleeper can turn game day into payday, and that's what you want. If you're a little tentative, look at this offer on the side of the screen from the great Sleeper app. $20, no deposit needed to get you started. All you got to do is download it, sign up for the first time, take advantage of that $20 up front, use it to get to know the app. If you like it, then you're going to use the promo code GreenBean when you make your first deposit, and they're going to double your first deposit up to $100. So up to $100 of your first deposit, they're going to double it. They're going to match it. They're going to match it. So $100 becomes $200, and that's how you can start your empire. And that's the way. I made it easy for you. The link's right in the description of this very video, everybody. That's all you got to do. My Pick'em League's in there, Talking Jets Pick'em League, the Beanbagger, Fantasy League's on Sleeper, all for good reason. We love it. You'll love it. Take advantage of these great offers. Links in the description, promo code GreenBean. And I thank Sleeper for hanging out with us. Terms and conditions do apply, my friends. So Tuesday, November 4th. Tuesday, November 4th. For most of you guys watching this, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. The trade deadline. Now, we already made a trade. Michael Carter II is gone. One of the rare Joe Douglas mid-round hits, right? That was a hit. Michael Carter was great for us. One of the best nickelbacks in the entire NFL for a little bit there. Got banged up. Hasn't quite been the same. Brownlee's here. More of an Aaron Glenn guy. Michael Carter goes, but we got a few more names on the books. And there's some talk. There's some chatter. Let's dig into two of them in this week's Intelligent Gripe. So as I'm recording this, the Buffalo Bills kicker just doinked it off the uprights. That just happened. I said, Intelligent Gripe, and doink, that's what just happened. I got to see what happens in the rest of this game here. Well, the Bills won that one. So the Pats win, the Bills win. Miami lost, the Jets lost. Miami fired their GM, all that kind of stuff. So here we go, man. The trade deadline is up. Now, we had a whole bunch of, last week we were fire selling this piece, huh? Let's get rid of everybody. From Alan Lazard to Jermaine Johnson. I want them all out. To Sauce Gardner. Get them out of my house. That's what we were doing. Now, we got one victory. Breece Hall went on a tear. 7.4 yard rushing average on the day that we lost number 74, Nick Mangold. So, the universe is weird, isn't it? How stuff like that happens. But he also had 2 rushing touchdowns. He threw a touchdown. He had a bunch of yards in the passing game as well as a receiver. So Breece Hall, all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. Wait a cotton picking minute here. Breece Hall might be good. Let me not get rid of him if Aaron Glenn wants to kind of capitalize on this. Don't forget, guys, we lost a whole bunch of games by 1 score. You know, there's a fumble in week 1. You know what I mean? Just like kids could be a whole different season. Even if it's just like, hey, we got 3 or 4 wins, it could be a whole different season. So why not, right? Now, do you want to jettison these guys? But so Breece Hall's the name that's out front, right? Breece Hall. Now, why would you want to trade Breece Hall if he's so good? Well, his contract is up. And do you think that the Muji Glenn Collective is going to be interested in allocating big money to a running back? Now, Breece Hall's going to get a contract. But is anybody willing to big money this thing? You know what I mean? Running backs, you can get a bunch of them each year, the whole thing. Now, Breece Hall is excellent. He's an excellent running back. Is he elite? We don't know. It's weird because we've never paired him with like an actual passing game that's threatening to anybody. So they've been keying on Breece Hall since the second he put on a helmet. Like, look at me, Mom. I got the bright lights. I'm on the NFL stage. I played for the Jets. And it's been like, oh, yeah, buddy. Since the second he did that, kill Breece Hall. Like, that's what it's been. Even with Aaron Rodgers here, it was like they didn't care. Just stop the run game and the Jets can't beat you. And that's what they've been doing. So Breece Hall, I think if he was on a legitimate contender, like with a real passing game, the Shanahans of the world, the Andy Reids of the world, like that kind of stuff, maybe, just maybe, this guy's, 1,600 yards on the ground kind of a thing. That's what we thought we were going to see when Aaron Rodgers came here, and we know how that ended. So it didn't go that way. But Breece Hall is also somebody that you might want to keep around. And maybe you don't want to give big money. But look, you have the other 2 running backs. You have the rest of the stable. Braylon Allen will be back. Maybe not this year, but he'll be back. And you got these two young bucks, even in Wangu's another young buck. So you got the rest of your running back stable with very little money to keep it that way. They're all young, they're in the second year. They're going to be on their third. They got 2 more years easy on their rookie contracts. Just leave them. They're cheap. They're mid-round picks. They're cheap. So maybe you do have a couple extra bucks to keep the stable together, especially if you're going to bring on a young quarterback. You want to make sure that we're not all of a sudden you got a quarterback and wide receivers and you don't have any running game. All this, you know what I mean? Keep it together. But here's the thing. There's a rumor out there that maybe the Chiefs would be willing to pony up a 3rd round pick. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, the Jets don't have a 3rd round pick in this draft. I think this is the Reddick one come to roost, I think. Maybe that was last year, something like that. So the Jets don't have a 3rd round pick, so a 3rd round pick becomes very, very valuable. We got a 1st, we got a 2nd. We don't have a 3rd. We got a few 4ths. We've been messing around with 6th and 7th like craziness. So who knows what we really have there at this point? I mean, it's getting nuts out there. So maybe the 3rd. Now, people were talking about a 5th round pick. 5th, 4th, don't even entertain it. Just let Brees ride out the year and, you know what I mean? See what you get. 5th round pick, what's that doing? But if somebody calls and offers a 3rd, maybe even like a 3rd and a 7th, something like that, do you entertain it? Even if your plan is to try to keep them? Well, I think you have to have an honest discussion with his agent and say, look, dude, here's where we are. We want to keep them. Here's what we're planning to offer. Matter of fact, I'll offer it to you right now. Do you want to extend or am I trading him? And his future will be whatever. You got to maybe have that discussion. Now, Brees, if there's any team that's going to be calling, whether it's the Niners, whether it's the Chiefs, whether whoever, it'd be delighted to go over there instead of staying in this shithole again. Assuming that it's the Jets that are the problem. The Woody Johnson is the problem. We don't even have a real organization here, evidenced by the fact that we can't hire anybody by ourselves. We need mommy, daddy, poppy. We need somebody to come in here and help us. Help me hire somebody. I'm over here playing house. When it's time to go to work, I need some help. Baloney. So maybe he wants to go. In that case, you got to be talking about franchise tags and all that kind of stuff. So are you willing to just pay Brees Hall? If they offer a 3rd round pick, I would say to this is what I would say. Okay, you make it a 3rd and a late 6th, and we got a deal. Or let's do this. Give me a 3rd, take my 7th, and make it a 6th. Something like that. And you know what? I love Brees Hall. I want to see him re-signed. I'd like to keep the band together. Business decision is a business decision. You give me a 3rd and pick swap a 6th and 7th, I'm going to say I'm going to do it. And then I get that money off the books, and then I can find my 3rd running back in the 4th round. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. And that sucks. Now, the other one that's sneaking around, and I think it's quiet by design. And I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to happen. This is my thing. I think it's going to happen, everybody. I think that one of, if not both, Q brothers are going to be traded in the next 48 hours. That's what I think. I think Quinnen Williams and or Quincy Williams, and I would not be surprised to see, dude, Muji can parlay these guys. Say, look, take them both. Give me a 1st and a 3rd. But you get both of them. Because Quinnen, to me, and I know you say you overvalue this, you overvalue that. I'm telling you, a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL for the past 5 years who's been to the All-Pro on one of the worst teams in the NFL is getting me a 1st and change. I'm getting change in addition to the 1st. That's me. That's what I'm doing. If you're going to give me a 1st and a 3rd, because I think the change would probably be in the 5th round, 4th round range, give me a 1st and a 3rd. You can have Quincy and Quinnen. That's what I'd say. And maybe throw me one of your young linebackers that need years to develop that you're not, that aren't going to impact anytime soon. That's what I do. Or as soon as I'm done trading, I steal somebody off their practice squad. Ha ha! That's what I do. I say first and a third, you can have Quinnen and Quincy, who I love. You guys know Quinnen's my second favorite Jet. Was my favorite Jet. Garrett Wilson just edged him out. Shin is in, started it, and now, you know what I mean? I just love me some Garrett. Love Quinnen Williams. Love him. But business is business, everybody. So you just first and a third. As soon as I do it, I take that first and third, say, here you go, and then I steal someone off their practice squad that they like. Ha ha! And I take that player too, and I say, hey, all part of the trade. So let's see. If it was like the Dallas Cowboys, who do they got? Let me see. Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so here's what they got. They got wide receivers Jalen Brooks, Treshawn Holden, Jalen Cropper, Paris Campbell. They got tight end Princeton Fant and Rivaldo Fairweather. They got defensive lineman Ernest Brown IV, Adedayo Odele, Isaiah Land, linebackers Justin Barron and Buddy Johnson. I remember Justin Barron. Yeah, last year, undrafted guy. I might have liked Justin Barron a little bit. Cornerback CJ Goodwin, Keeman Hall, Robert Rochelle, Corey Ballantyne. Now, offensive linemen Sadiq Charles and Jerron Christian. Safeties Elijah Clark. So I don't know. Maybe I go and I take Justin Barron. He's a little light for me. Who's Buddy Johnson? What's up with that guy? 229 pounds. I guess 230. I guess it's not too small. I want a 240. I guess I'm taking Justin Barron. That's what I'm doing. So I trade Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams to the Dallas Cowboys. I get a first and a third. And then I steal Justin Barron in the middle of the night. Yeehaw! And I put him right on my 53. Ha ha! The thief strikes again. The Hamburglar returns. That's what I would do every time I trade. Like, don't trade with GreenBean. He's going to fucking steal somebody off your practice squad. Ah! You want my guy? Ha ha! That's what I do. If you don't want me to steal your guy, throw in a seventh. That's the deal. You got to give him a seventh or he's going to steal somebody. Ha ha! Will Greer. Will Greer's on their practice squad. Like a thief in the night. Pay me off. Give me a seventh or I'm stealing Will Greer. Tyrod Taylor's hurt. I need a Will Greer. I'm telling you, I'll fucking steal him. That's what you do. You walk around the NFL like a crazy man with an umbrella. You got a top hat, an umbrella, and a monocle. And you show up to every trade like that and go, I'm telling you, give me a seventh. Anyway, how would you feel? Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams. You get a first and a third, and you traded Breece Hall for a third and a pick swap. So you walk out of there, you got 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds. You got a myriad sixths and everything. Plus, you somehow find a way to trade Allen Lazard, maybe. I don't know. But does that move the needle for you? Is Quinnen Williams adding or detracting from the potential for Aaron Glenn to win? I don't see it this year. I think Quinnen's having a down year. He's fine. But the impact is not there. The impact plays are not there. I'm going to get something for Quinnen. I think he'd thrive down there in Dallas, and that's the way it goes. Let me know what you think about the trade deadline, everybody. Where are you going? Is there a name I'm not mentioning? Do you see somebody else? Do you see it? Who we trading? Can't be Cisco. He tore his pec. Can't do that. We need safeties. We are in safety hell, aren't we? All right, guys. With that all said, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy Monday. Enjoy the week. Thank you to Sleeper for hanging out. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. subscribe to the channel on your way out. I love you guys, and as always, go Jets.